for waiting. Apologies about the delay. The start was red flagged, so yeah, a bit of technical difficulty, but thank you for waiting around. So this is, I guess, well, what is it? It's just a bit of fun, really. We're all very passionate about Formula One, and we thought, well, let's hop on a live and just chat a bit of rubbish about Formula One. I think that's the best way to summarize it, really. So thank you for joining us. Do we want to go around the room and introduce ourselves and let everyone know which team you follow and who your favourite driver is?
Go on, Jensen.
Okay. Hi all, Jensen Abbott, BDR at content.ai. And yeah, I mean, which team do I follow? Well, I like Ferrari, Mercedes and McLaren, in all honesty. And actually, I would say my favorite driver for this upcoming season would actually have to be Lando Norris.
Ooh.
Fair enough. We'll take that.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Go on, old man. You next?
Yeah. Don't know if you can hear that.
Yeah.
Okay. My favourite driver is Max Verstappen, and I love Red Bull.
Pigs can fly.
Wait. What's the first rule of personal branding? Being true to yourself.
True and authentic. Okay. My favourite driver is
past or present?
Well, I was just thinking. My favourite driver is Montoya.
Okay.
But I have to say, current, who doesn't love Alonso?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good point. It's a really good point. I think he's everyone's favourite villain, right?
Yeah.
And last but not least,
well, I'm not too sure which team's my favourite, to be quite honest.
Does the shirt give it away?
Yeah. No. I'm a big Hamilton fan. Obviously, growing up, I watched his ascendancy, really. So it was hard not to like him, particularly in the early days when he was very aggressive. So yeah, I think my favourite team for the moment is Mercedes. Join us next year and I'll be wearing red. But no, also a big fan of, McLaren.
Yeah.
Zach Brown, he's building a motorsport empire, so it's really hard not to like Norris, great guy, and
he's just a cheeky chappy, isn't he?
He is. Yeah. And Piastri's brilliant as well. It's just a shame that Danny Rick takes everyone's favourite Aussie title away from him, because Danny Rick's he's Danny Rick.
Yeah.
I was also going to add, if you're listening, put in the comments as well who your favourite driver or favourite team is this upcoming season. I know Alfie Day's already commented. Fernando Alonso.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we've got a couple of things that we wanted to cover, purely just having a little bit of fun. Am I able to share my screen on this? I am indeed. Look at that.
I think I might have to let you in.
So what I can do, what if I do this? I put you guys down here. Oh, it's gonna ask me to leave and rejoin. Give me 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to drop out and then rejoin so I can share my screen.
Okay. Whilst he's messing around with that, Jensen.
Yeah.
What's your? I know we're going to play F1 Bingo in a minute when he comes back. But what's your dead cert for F1 Bingo?
Oh, do you know what? I've put this in last minute, and that is for Max Verstappen to have 3 or more tantrums and blame the car rather than himself.
That is a brilliant one.
Which I'm sure is going to be a dead cert, right? Because every time on the radio you hear him complain one way or another, right? And it always goes back to that saying: a poor workman always blames his tools.
Yes. What the question is? What's he going to have a tantrum about?
That's it, right? That's exactly it. And I mean, if I was to try and pick some off the top of my head, I reckon I should get double points if I do get that right.
Yeah, and it can't be too broad, like the car or the track, stewards.
Yeah. But no, what about?
But it brings a nice element of spirit, competitive spirit, doesn't it?
That's
the table.
it.
Formula One in 2024, I'm sure, wouldn't be Formula One in 2024 if it wasn't for Max throwing a tantrum.
Yeah, exactly. And is Jordan in the waiting room as well?
Oh, is he in the waiting room? There he is. Welcome back. We were just chatting amongst ourselves.
Lovely. I heard Max whining. Is that
from there?
Is that
all the way?
Yeah. I heard Max whining all the way from France.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So let's give this a whirl. Are we gonna play ball? It is in the waiting room. Are you
One
able
second.
to...
I can do that. I need to. Here we go.
Oh, look at that. So if we go into slideshow mode, so are we all able to see the screen?
We are indeed.
Oh, brilliant. Sorry, it's taking me into presenter mode. Let's just go on normal slideshow.
Ooh, bit stretched, but that's all right.
Okay, do you know what? I'm going to stop sharing and let's try again. Oh, it's not like... Oh, comedy of errors today.
Some might say we should prepare.
Some might say, yeah.
Yeah.
It might have been helpful.
Well, do we need the slides?
Well, yeah, kind of. Have you seen all the cars?
I haven't, no.
Some of them, yeah.
And also just bringing some of the comments to life. I know Jackie's put past driver has to be Button, which I'm pretty sure would be no surprise after me being named after him. I think that's a dead giveaway. And Augusto as well saying, hi, how's it going? Yeah, doing very well. Thank you. How about yourself?
He can't reply. Well, he could in text.
Yeah. That's what I was aiming for. Yeah.
Pit stopping training. That's what we're doing right now. This is a dry run.
Yeah.
A wet run, in fact. It feels more wet than it is dry.
Indeed. Good stuff. So, just as a bit of an overview, a couple of things we were going to cover. The liveries or livery, depends on how you pronounce it. We're going to rank them. We're then going to go on to Constructors' Championship predictions, Drivers' Championship winner, which I actually haven't included, F1 bingo, and then who will replace Hamilton. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the cars for this season. We've got the Haas. What's the first impression? Obviously, we've got the Hulk. We've got Magnussen, and everyone's favourite, who's no longer going to be on the pit wall, Gunther Steiner, replaced by, and I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. What's his first name? Ayo Kamatsu, who's new team principal at Haas. So I'll just take a little peruse. Let me know.
I think, yeah, same old. We could just skip all these cars and go straight to Mercedes and Ferrari. Save us all a lot of time.
Okay. I'll flick ahead. I'll flick ahead.
Or why don't Jensen? What's your favourite? Have you had a chance to look at these?
I haven't had the chance to look at all of them, in all honesty. It's interesting to see though some of the sponsorship deals that each team has.
Yeah, kick.
And well, Bottas as well. Loving his Australian tash and
Yeah, I was gonna say he's everyone's favourite Finnish bogan.
yeah.
So who is kick, Jordan?
I'm not too sure. Their principal sponsor is Steak, but on the F1 website they're down as Kick Sauber. So that one stumped me.
Maybe that's like some kind of marketing trick, right? They're going to be so fast, everyone wants to kick them.
Maybe it's a long shot. I think perhaps everyone's least favourite car, certainly my favourite car.
It hasn't really changed, the Alpine, has it? It still looks
bit darker, maybe.
Racing.
Oh, there's Red Bull.
Visa Cash App for Red Racing Bulls.
Yeah.
Toro Rosso. It's a good looking car. Do you not think?
I don't know. There's something about it. It's almost like you've got what is it? Boss, Hugo Boss traditional, and then you got the Hugo Boss cheap version.
Okay.
What's the brand? Yeah, a bit like Red Bull and then their second team. Although they've tried very hard to distance themselves from.
I don't know if they have tried that hard. I mean, their logo, the bull is on the car. The official logo is the Red Bull logo minus one of the bulls. I think they could have tried a little bit harder.
Yeah.
I think it only gives you one wing instead of two, right?
Yeah, they need two though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something about a green car that is just.
It looks smart.
To us Brits, maybe it's quite British. Yeah,
indeed. I mean, I think it was Jaguar that was the green car on the grid when I was growing up.
Yeah. I have Lotus in my mind.
Yeah,
Green Lotus or Lotus Green.
So obviously McLaren hasn't really changed much. Red Bull the Ferrari, looks good.
Yeah, I like the look of the Ferrari. To me, that looks like a menacing race car.
I was going to say the wing. I think the front wing has some effect on that as well, right?
Yeah. There's only 3 pictures of the Red Bull.
Yeah, there he is.
By, the devil himself.
That's Christian.
That's Christian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whingy Horner.
Again, I mean, not much has changed in terms of the design. I mean, when you're the fastest car on the grid, I guess you don't really have to put too much effort into how it.
Yeah. The question is, are they going to still be the fastest car on the grid?
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Hope not.
So apparently all of the other teams had to gain an entire second coming into 2024 to stand a chance of beating the Red Bulls.
Okay.
And I haven't heard any other team talking about the fact that they've gained that second. Ferrari said half a second. Mercedes said half a second. I mean, they could be telling porkies.
Yeah.
You see, side on, that looks like an awesome racing car to me. Although the picture I saw had a go faster stripe also going underneath the body of the side pod.
Down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe I've seen that. Can you see it on there? No. So there's something interesting that I've just realised. So apparently this isn't the official nose that's on the car now. So Mercedes have apparently been testing out a nose where the third and final flap here, it's all of this part's missing. It's essentially just a wire.
It's the fourth. They've added a fourth. It's the fourth flap. Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. And they've tried to make it legal by following the rules by the letter and ensuring it's attached to the nose, because that's the rule. All of the layers of the front wing have to be attached to the nose.
And you're not allowed to see the back of the flap of each flap, right? So that's why they've put
from the top, from the top looking down, yeah.
Just to jump in with some comments as well. So I see Chris has said Red Bull should be sponsored by Pampers, #babies, which I think that's comedy gold, that is. And also a point that I was actually going to make when we started going through these, and Augusto's put, digital wallet crypto is the new cigarette marketing.
Oh,
I was then going to ask the question, right? It's funny how kind of cigarettes got banned kind of for marketing purposes, but then you do have these crypto and kind of gambling things that actually, if you look at kind of the perspective, you would think actually maybe we should kind of ban them as well, right?
Yeah.
What's your kind of point of view on that?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, gambling companies are banned in football now from sponsoring football teams, right? Obviously, you've got Stake as the primary sponsor of the Sauber team. Perhaps that's why it's not Stake Sauber F1. Perhaps that's why it's Kick. Maybe there's something in the law that they can't be named after a gambling company. I don't know. If anyone does know more, then please.
Mate, I know in the UK anyway. I can't speak for other countries on this, but there was I think it still applies, but there was a law that meant that you couldn't do any sports betting advertising before 9 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm sure I've seen like William Hill Bet365 during the like Saturday football games. Half time, no, but I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Rankings. We don't have to write it down, but favorite, least favorite.
Rankings in terms of where we think the driver will end up?
No, so just which car looks the best.
Oh, sorry.
I would say Red Bull bottom because they haven't put any effort to actually kind of bring something to life.
I feel you, but I just can't stand the Alpine. I think the Alpine's got to be last. It's horrible.
Well, I'm gonna go from the top down. So I'll give you my top 3. I couldn't give you all 10. I'm going to go Ferrari number 1, Mercedes number 2. And just because I do like the look of the Red Bull. I mean, the Red Bull first team, not the Red Bull second team. Red Bull, yeah.
Red Bull B. Okay. Gents?
Cool. I would have to say my top 3, not going in any particular order, would be Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren.
Okay. I would even throw, if I can, Aston Martin into 4th.
Yeah, I agree top 2, but I think that Racing Bulls car looks nice.
Okay, do it.
Red Bull B.
Yeah.
Got to be there, and then Aston Martin. All right, nice one. So now where the teams are actually going to finish. The Williams, controversial from Augusto. It's a nice car. I think my favourite part of the Williams is the Duracell ad positioning.
It would have been better if they actually put the bunny.
It's on the inside.
Yeah.
It's so clever.
It's clever.
Yeah, but they should have had the bunny or the rabbit. Do you know what I mean? Carrying it or running behind, something like that. But that is very cool.
Nice.
Who were the drivers for Williams again?
Albon and Sargent.
Yeah.
Maybe they could wear a special helmet with a bunny painted on.
Bunny on the back or something. Yeah.
I was going to say as well, it would be interesting to see if someone goes with a bit of a quirky helmet design as well.
I mean, we've got the helmets here.
Yeah, they change race to race, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Maybe we can add that in a later show.
Yeah.
Most favourite helmet.
And
Bottas
are you?
should at least colour coordinate his helmet to the car. It's so
Who's that?
green. Bottas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue and green should never be seen. Isn't that the same when you fashion gurus?
Yeah, indeed.
I was going to say I thought it was red and green, but I think that's just because I'm colourblind.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Ferrari and Kick should never be seen.
Yeah. Did you say you want to rank the teams?
Yeah. What's the constructors championship going to look like?
Well, I've actually some of my F1 bingo is to do with the constructors championship.
Okay.
But I'll keep it separate.
Well, if you've got some ideas, do you want to take the lead?
Yep. So I've put Alfa Romeo to finish bottom.
Kick Sauber, aka or used to be.
Then Alpha Tauri 9th.
Racing
That's a good
Bulls.
one. That's a good one from Mum. Bottas should get a helmet. Yeah, Green Goblin.
Yeah. Then I would put Williams. Then I would put Haas.
Oh, bloody hell.
Alpine next.
Okay.
Then Aston Martin. Then I would put. Oh, really? You've just got the top four, really, didn't you? Then, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So I would then say McLaren. No. McLaren. Now I wanna. Then it's got to be Mercedes. Then it's Red Bull. Then Ferrari, I reckon, is going to win it this year, or I want them to.
Ooh.
Okay. Some controversial ones in there.
I do. Do you know what? I wanted to switch Red Bull and Mercedes, but I thought that would annoy a lot of people. So.
Hey, this is your choice.
I know.
You might regret what you might kick yourself.
Mm.
Do you want to go next, or shall I go next?
Go on, you go next.
So I think McLaren number one. I think they've got a fast car, and I think both drivers are fast. So we'll see some consistent high point scoring. Followed by Ferrari, then Red Bull, then Mercedes, and then I'm gonna put Haas in place of Aston Martin.
Okay.
And then go Aston Martin, Williams, Alpine, and leave it like that. Racing Bulls and Kick Sauber.
Nice. I think Haas had taken last for me.
They came back. They were a bit strong towards the end of last season, no?
Yeah, but so they had a few failed upgrade packages towards the end of last year and invested quite a bit of money in that, and they're having to restart with this new car on a limited budget. I think Gunther Steiner, he basically created the team. He called Gene Haas up and said, "You should have a Formula One team," and then led them. He was the glue that held them together. So
can we also change one of mine?
Yeah.
Can we put Williams at the bottom?
Williams last.
Williams last.
Why?
Because you see, within my F1 bingo, I've picked some out, but I reckon Albon's going to have a couple of DNFs.
Okay.
He's just going to crash into the barrier as if it's like a ghost crash.
Okay. Haas kicks Sauber.
And then George, maybe switch racing balls and kick Sauber, just because I do like Ricardo, and he's a good driver, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
And then I think, I think Alpine, and then I'm gonna have to go racing balls, Williams, Aston Martin. It really pains me to do this, but
yeah,
I think it's right. Again, I agree. I think McLaren will be top. I really, really am hoping for McLaren to be top. I'd love to see Ferrari second, but I think Red Bull and then Ferrari to take the third spot. So, what are we doing? Do we get a certain number of points per correct place?
Well, if you wanted to, you could actually combine the Constructors' Championship if you're going to do the Drivers' Championship and the F1 Bingo. And you could do it so then each correct one is a certain amount of points. Add that up at the end of the season, compare.
Yeah.
We need a fourth column though, Jordan, for Augusto.
Okay.
Yeah, add his in for sure.
Perfect. So, are you able to read them out? Oh.
Ferrari from the top. Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren, Aston Martin, Williams, Alpine, Toro Rosso, Red Bull B team, Sauber, and Haas.
And also, just extending that, if anyone else who's watching has a prediction, please add it in, and we can always add your columns as well at a later date.
Yeah,
indeed. It's a $5 entry though.
Yeah.
Per week.
Yeah.
Per week, keep your entry in. Yeah.
Indeed. Cool. We gotta keep the lights on somehow. Cool. So we'll revisit this. I guess we want guests, right? So Augusto, perhaps you should join us next week.
Yeah, for sure. And that would be perfect for kicking off the Bahrain test.
Interesting.
Yeah. Have to wear your pink suit though.
Perfect. All right. F1 bingo, go on, gents. I can tell you're itching.
Oh, I am. Right. So really two of mine counts as one. So it's up to you really if you want to kind of conjoin both of them into one. But I've got Albon to have 2 or more crashes involving no other cars. So I'm calling it a ghost crash.
2 or more ghosts.
Oh, and we've gone for 9 as well, haven't we? Not 10.
Yeah.
Right, okay, let's conjoin the 2 then. And that's also then Albon to have most DNFs this season.
What have you got against Albon?
No, put it in the same one, like in brackets again, because I'll do that as kind of the 2 in 1.
So you're covering your bases. So if one of those things happen,
we could say. I mean, I've got 10, and I like all 10, so it's hard to get rid of them. I've then got Ferrari to finish first or second within the Constructors' Championship.
Ferrari top 2 in Constructors.
I've got Lando Norris to have 2 or more podiums. I know, poor Albon. But I mean, I've been watching the Drive to Survive, and yeah. Honestly, I think I could take the wheel. But I'm sure you two will not agree.
Wait. I'm gonna hit pause there.
Yeah. You've got to hit pause there. Is that just like you could be a Premiership footballer?
Yeah. It is.
Wait. You're not a bad footballer, right? So okay, you have that. But No, you can't take the world. Alex, we're going to paint a scene. Melbourne.
Melbourne Grand Prix 2012. Yeah.
We're at a karting track. You and I are battling for first place. You know, really interesting battle. I'm trying to get past you. You take the inside, go out wide. I'm about to overtake you. We're literally side by side.
And then out of nowhere, this third car comes up, right? Jensen Abbott joins in, looks at us, and just stays looking at us and goes off onto the grass bank and is bumbling along.
That was funny. I'm thinking Dubai.
I was just about to say Dubai when it got heated and we actually done a proper GP style race. And it was, I think it was the second race in, wasn't it? And I decided to use you as my brakes on the final corner.
You decided to use me as the berm.
Yeah. And then on that final race, I got completely T-boned out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was within the race limits. I think that was within the limit.
Just about, yeah.
But who was fastest?
Do you know? I actually think I was fastest. I'm not gonna lie. No, hold on. And I had a witness who watched after and actually said, he was like, even though you were last, you were catching very quickly.
Yeah, I think the fact that you just admitted you were last.
That was due to the crash. But we'll have to do go karting and actually wear a GoPro.
Yeah,
so everyone can see exactly that old school rules.
That's what we have to do for one of the weeks where there's no race.
Yeah, we were basically
racing.
We were basically like three Max Verstappens racing each other.
Yeah,
elbows everywhere.
Yeah,
it was.
Not quite landing on each other's head though, but
no.
My next one, which is one that I actually mentioned to Alex earlier, was that Max Verstappen to have 3 or more temper tantrums and blame the car over himself. In brackets, Paul Workman always blames his tools.
Nice.
The ironic thing is he has the best tool though.
I know.
And he's won, 3 championships on the bounce?
Yeah, back to back.
Yeah. I've then got Red Bull to get no more than 780 points in the Constructors' Championship.
Wow. Where did that one come from? What did they score last year?
800. I can tell you now. They got 860 points.
Okay.
I've then got Aston Martin to get more than 270 points within the constructors' standing.
Yeah.
I've then got Hamilton to win more than 3 races, so 3 or more.
3 or more.
Yeah. I've got Max Verstappen to crash into Hamilton and blame Hamilton.
This isn't 2022, you know.
Yeah.
I know, but listen, it's Hamilton's final season at Mercedes, right? So I reckon they're gonna have it. Their feud's gonna be lit. And my final one is for there to be a more than 3 car pile up on the first corner of any race.
I feel like the probability for a couple of these are quite high.
Yeah.
Which ones would you say are high, and I can up the stake?
Red Bull less than 780 points. I mean,
I think yeah. Last year they just absolutely stormed it out the gates, which meant they could score quite highly. I think this year it's gonna be tighter.
Okay, so then if you put 760, that's 100 points less than last season. Would you be happy with that?
Go on, we'll take that. We'll take it.
If the 3 car pile up is too much, do 5 car.
Yeah, that's more like it.
And the Hamilton to win 3+ races, do 3+ races and 4 podiums. So that's 4 podiums.
To be fair, I'll accept 3 races as
Yeah.
is. You don't have to update that one if you don't want to. I mean, feel free to add more, but I mean,
no, I reckon. Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Conscious of time, and I've got another podcast in 17 minutes.
Okay.
So why don't we do this? Because I'm conscious that we do want to talk about who's going to replace Hamilton in 2025. So why don't we save our F1 bingos, Jordan, for next week?
Yeah. Either way, or we could talk about Hamilton next week. I feel like this is going to be a bit of a juicy conversation. But I'm easy. Yeah.
Well, I'll throw my one out there.
Go on.
And you heard it here first. Vettel's going to come back for a season. He's going to come out of retirement, in a German car. He's going to do one season, and then the F2 whiz kid is going to come up and take Vettel's seat in 2026.
Okay.
After he's won the F2 championship.
Which F2 whiz kid are you referring to?
1 second. You can talk amongst yourselves, and I'll get his full name.
Gents, what are your thoughts? Who's going to replace Hamilton?
I've got no idea, in all honesty. Where's Sainz going?
We don't know yet.
I reckon it could be a straight swap. Hamilton Sainz.
Yeah.
Because I know we were talking the other day that I think Sainz actually had a better season than Leclerc last season.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a really good point. I think.
But it all depends, though, right? Because then what's going to happen to Russell? Is he going to be number 1 driver?
Yeah, I think so. Russell will take the number 1 spot. I'd like to see, and you're not going to like this, Jensen. I'd like to see Albon in the Mercedes.
No,
I rank him.
Keep him far away from that Mercedes car.
He's done in the Williams, which is arguably the slowest car. Some of the performances he got. Okay, perhaps not the slowest car because it's quick in a straight line. But he's done some great things in his stint at Red Bull. He nearly won a race twice, only to be taken out by Hamilton. I think Mercedes sort of owe him the chance for a race win.
Oh, I don't know. I think he's yeah, I don't know. I mean, what actually would have been good is for me to say Albon to cost the team most amount of money due to crashes.
Damages.
Yeah.
It's a good point. Do you want me to change it?
No, it'll be fine. It'll be hard to tell, right? Because as well, everyone's prices of parts is different. But no, look, he's a good driver. It's just, yeah.
I think it's Andrea Antonelli.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's him. But anyway, doesn't have to be both Vettel and Vettel getting the seat and him joining a year later. I think Vettel, he's not been talked about yet. Vettel has not been talked about.
I've seen it. I've seen it float around the rumor mill. I mean, obviously, Alonso's agent or manager had met up with Toto Wolff. Valtteri Bottas back in the Merc. Sorry, I had to get it in. When
What the pronunciation?
when I'm having a bad day, I just say his name, and then everything's all right.
I'd like to see you with a mullet and a moustache like that, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Not for long.
I don't think my tash game is strong enough.
Yeah. Right, I'm gonna have to love you and leave you, I'm afraid, unless you want to call it.
No, that's all good. We'll call it. So next week we can cover off F1 bingo in more detail. We can get Augusto's F1 bingo. He's shared a couple.
Yeah.
And then
there it is.
And then we can talk in a bit more detail about what life looks like after Hamilton at Mercedes. Albon and the Silver Arrows, I think so. I agree. I'd like to see it. Cool. Well, look, thank you very much for bearing with us through what I'm sure was quite painful watching it at times. We'll do better next week.
We do need a red flag to show. We'll go live just with a red flag.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Cool.
We'll get Martin Brundle in to talk to the audience.
Yeah. Well, thank you for what is a great idea, Jordan.
No worries. Thank you for being such willing guests.
I'm looking forward to the discussion developing throughout the season.
Indeed. Good stuff. Well, have a great end to the week, everybody, and enjoy the weekend. Until next time.
Bye.
See you later.